Hey, Bob Heilig here, your virtual upline. Have you ever struggled with what to say or how to handle when a prospect gives you the pyramid objection? If so, then stick around, because in my training today, I am going to teach you exactly what to say and how to handle when a prospect uses what I like to call the big P word. So stay tuned. So objections fall into one of two different categories, and it's really important that you understand this. It either comes from the fact that the prospect has a limiting belief in their own ability to be successful in your business, or it's a limiting belief in network marketing in general. Now, our job as a leader, very simply, is this: to help prospects get over the limiting beliefs that they have in order for us to recruit them. Now, the pyramid objection is obviously a limiting belief on network marketing. We just have to come to terms with the fact that most people really don't have the first clue when it comes to what network marketing is. And when you hear the pyramid objection, it's not always coming from a negative stance. It's just coming from the fact that they don't really understand it. Now, the biggest mistake that I see people make is this. When they get the pyramid objection, they immediately go on the defensive. They become very argumentative. They have the mindset where they're going to try to make the prospect wrong so they can make themselves right. And all I can tell you is this, is that if you are defensive when you're handling objections, you will never be effective. You're not going to be able to recruit people that have limiting beliefs. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. And we've all fallen victim of doing this before. The prospect says something like, "This looks like a pyramid." And then we automatically go on the defense and we say something like, "Well, how about the company you work for? Don't you have a CEO, and aren't there upper managers and then middle managers and then there are employees? Well, what's that shaped like? It's shaped like a pyramid, and everything's a pyramid." Listen, if you're doing that, you're not going to be successful. Here's another good one. Somebody says pyramid, and then maybe you've said this before. "Well, the pyramids are in Egypt, so it's obviously not a pyramid." Look, if you're acting like a third grader, because that's really what it is, and all you're trying to do is just make yourself feel good, you're just not going to be effective at handling objections. So here's what you need to do. As having the mindset of trying to get them over that limiting belief, and this is the saying that I like, our job is very simple. We need to try to help blind people see. Our job is to educate the ignorant, and that's where the pyramid objection just comes from ignorance. So if you have more of a calm, neutral stance, and you legitimately just want to clarify where that's coming from, you've got a really good chance at recruiting that person. Let me give you an example of what I mean. So when somebody says to me, "That looks like a pyramid," this is what I say in response. Totally neutral, not emotional, not defensive. I say, "Well, what do you mean?" Now, here's what's funny about this. When they say pyramid and you say, "Well, what do you mean? I'm not sure what you're talking about." At first, they'll be like, well, they'll be taken aback a little bit because they expect you to be just defend it. And then they'll say something like, "Well, you know what I'm talking about." And I'll say, "No, I don't. Could you explain to me what you mean?" And then you'll normally get something like, "Well, you know, like the people that are at the top make all the money." Now, once they've given me what they think it is, now I can handle that objection. And I can say, "Well, John, by your definition, this is clearly not a pyramid, and here's the reason why. Because I signed up after my sponsor, and I'm actually making more money than they are. So by your definition, this is not a pyramid. Do you have any other questions?" Now, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that you're going to do that and recruit everybody, but there will be some people, by clarifying that objection, that they may be able to move past it. Let me give you another example. So you've got two different types of people that give you the pyramid objection. You have somebody that just genuinely isn't sure and wants to know. And then here's the ones where we really get in trouble. You've got those other people, and you know who they are, that just want to test you. They like being negative. They don't like seeing you trying to do something with your life. So they just want to poke at you and say, "Pyramid." Well, here's how you handle that. You don't. This is what I've come to learn. If somebody's coming at me negative, and look, I'm at the point now where I can tell who that person is before they even say it. If I'm sitting in a room of people and I can almost pick them out, it's like I can smell them when they walk into the room. They come up to me after the presentation and I'm just thinking in my mind, I'm like, yep, go ahead, say it, come on, wait for it. There it is, pyramid. And they want to be combative. And in the beginning, I used to try to defend and I used to exhaust and frustrate myself. Now I just don't even deal with it. I just say, hey, you know what? You're right. Because I realize that as much as they think they're interviewing me, I'm interviewing them. And once you realize you don't need people, and you especially don't want people like that in your business because they're going to drag you down. Just be okay with the fact that you're sorting, not selling. And at the end of the day, if you don't realize that you deserve more out of life than what you already have, then who is it for me to have to convince you otherwise? Just move on to the next person and understand that when you're dealing with objections, specifically the pyramid objection, don't be defensive, clarify the objection, go through that process, see what they really mean, and see if that there's still a chance if you can handle the objection, maybe you can still recruit them. So that's the training for today, guys. I hope you got some value out of that. Don't forget, if you haven't checked me out on my website, go to bobheilig.com. I've got a free audio training on there called The 4 Mental Enemies of Success, where I give you all of the secrets that I've learned to help make you a top earner in your company. And I've got a lot of other great free training there as well. So thanks for joining me today, guys, and I will see you real soon. Take care.